like this sucks, but this is my DNF. This is my moment. It's a full commitment or it's not. I'm going to put my weight on it and just go with full intention that it's going to work. With no doubt, the thought came into my mind, what if you hurt your leg and what if you never run again? And I said, bring it on. I don't care. If I never run again, fine, I'm doing this and nothing's stopping me. I didn't feel like I could keep going. I didn't know how it was possible I could keep going. And I'm limping and I'm using my poles and I'm going very slow. And I knew that I had the hardest, by far, the hardest part of the whole course coming right up. You have to go up. Extremely steep. I mean, so steep that you basically have to crawl.
Right. And the sun is just set. It's getting dark. It's getting colder. He didn't sleep. He needs to sleep.
Bonking. My calf, again, was completely locked up. Couldn't walk on it. And it's okay. I turned my light off and I just went really slow. I walked backwards a little bit. I tried to get my calf warmed up. It did not warm up, but it was good enough for me to just keep going. And now I hit the bottom of this hill and I was going really slow because I couldn't put any weight on my right foot, at least not on my toes. On my heel I could. And here's where it gets good. I gave you a phone call here too.
Before it got good.
Yeah, before it got good. Oh boy. I didn't want to give up, but everything said I should give up. I couldn't put any weight on my foot. I was super tired. And then because I was giving it hell to try to get up this hill, drank almost all my water and ate all my food and was still bonking and tired. I had nothing, but I needed to do everything I could to get up this hill. And so I did all of that. And then I would decide, I'm like, I have to quit. Like, this sucks, but this is my DNF. This is my moment. I can't, how could I possibly go? And I'd say, no, I'm going to do whatever I can. I'm just going to make it 10 more feet. And so I would get up and I can't put weight on my foot and I would make it like 10 more feet and I'd be exhausted. And I'd lay down and just trying to figure out what the heck to do. And some runners came by, they gave me some ibuprofen, thank God. And I did it again. So I did this 3 times and I would tell myself, just make it to there. And I would do it again and I'd make it 10 feet, 20 feet, and then I'd kind of collapse again. And it seemed impossible. My leg didn't work. I'd given it everything. I'd given it a good try. And giving it a good try again and again. It's like relentless, and I wasn't making any progress. Yeah. And I looked up and I saw the lights from other runners way up there, and I'm like, I still gotta go way up there, you know?
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was possible. And even if it were possible, I think it would take me so long. At this point, it had been 6 hours from Tunnel Creek Aid Station. It took me 6 hours to go 4 miles. So I thought I was done. I can keep going, but the problem is if I make it further into this section, I'm not gonna be able to get out. I'm gonna be really cold, hypothermic, bonked, no fuel, no water. And then if I go further, I'll have further to drag myself out. So I wanted to keep going, but I thought it might be dumb and I might die or something, you know? So I called you, and before the race, I told you, don't let me quit. And so I'm glad you didn't let me quit, but you probably should have.
I didn't not let you quit either. I just listened. I was just there, and part of me wanted you to say that you were done because then we could take you home and take care of you. And you've been in rough shape for so long. But then more wanted you to have the experience of completing the race.
So we made a decision. I made a decision, but you were there to support me. And that was, no matter what, I have to give it everything I've got, give it hell for 1 hour, 1 more hour. And I don't care if I make it 10 feet or to the top of the hill or to the finish line. Yep. But I'm for a solid hour, I'm starting my timer and I'm going to crawl with my fingernails and do whatever. And if after an hour I'm in the same place, maybe I need to quit. But not until then. And I don't care what happens until then. 1 hour, let's go. And you said, okay, go get it. And I turned my phone off. And this was the moment. I made this decision, and as soon as I made that decision, it just happens that the hardest part of the hardest climb is right there. I mean, this rock that just goes straight up. So I put my foot up on it. I go to put weight on it, and it's too painful. I can't put any weight on it. Then I looked at my watch, and 2.5 minutes had gone by, and I'd only taken 1 step. And I said to myself in this moment that I'm making a decision that my leg doesn't hurt. And I swore a lot. Just like swearing at just pumping myself up. and making a decision and getting the fire in my eyes and putting my chest out and just making a decision and commanding my leg. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to step on you and it's going to be strong and perfect and great. And I fully believed that it would. There was no doubt. And I put my weight on my foot and it didn't hurt. And I stepped with my other foot and I stepped with my other foot. Woo, and I was coming alive because it was working. And immediately after I had taken like 4 or 5 steps with my poles as like crutches, I then went, wait, if I believe that my leg is better, I don't need crutches. And I got rid of my poles. I put my poles, I just held them or put them under my arm or whatever. No poles. And just charged up the steepest of the steepest climbs I've ever been on. And then I said, let's take this even further. And every time I hit a step, I'm gonna lead with what was formerly my hurt leg. And I'm gonna just step forward with my right leg on my toes. And I did, and I led, and I just power hiked hard, all the way to the top of the thing. At which point I snapped a little video. This is the proudest moment of my whole life. Going up the power lines, my leg didn't work. I was going 5-hour mile pace for 6 hours. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't even know if I'm gonna stop. I feel like I'm just gonna run to the finish line, and I'm not gonna even go to the aid stations. I mean, I don't have any calories. I'm out of water. I got 9 miles to go. I don't give a shit. Time to put the camera down and fucking go. Okay, so that turnaround, I went to charging down the trail, full energy running. Mm-hmm. And I can't explain it, but I know where it came from. It was making a decision. It was making a real decision. There was every reason in the world to say I couldn't do it. And nobody would ever blame me. You wouldn't have blamed me. My clients, you guys here, you wouldn't blame me. I still made it 140 miles. And my leg blew up and I couldn't stand on it. What can you do?
Yeah.
Leg can't stand on your leg, can't run another 60 miles. And I even felt like, this is it, I'm going home. Then the moment came where it's like, I'm going to put my weight on it and just go with full intention that it's going to work. With no doubt. And it did. And that switch. And there was this moment right when that happened where the thought came into my mind, what if you hurt your leg and what if you never run again? And I said, bring it on. I don't care. If I never run again, fine, I'm doing this and nothing's stopping me. And as soon as that thought clicked in my head, that was the exact moment the pain went away and I just went. And I can't explain it other than is literally magic, you know? But I think we're capable of magic like that. And I feel emotional. I think we are capable of that kind of magic, but what it takes is a 100% commitment, a decision. And the difference between 99% and 100% is 100% difference. It's everything. It's a full commitment or it's not. And in other races, I wouldn't have been pushed to a full commitment like that. In any other race, that was a good enough reason to stop. If this were a 100-miler, I'd be like, well, I'll just get it next time. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to really level your life up sometimes in a giant way where you're going to fail unless you're 100%. That's my story of the power lines.
It is about 52 hours after Andrew finished.
Spoiler, I finished.
Move with the rhythm, shake it up, stop when the clock hits 13. You've been working, but you're flirting with the weekend. You can freak out. 1 in a million. You're a gem, shine when the light grows dim. Sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. 'Cause no one can do it like we do it, like we do it, like we do it.